Hello students, in this lecture we will study about the magnetic field due to a long solenoid. So first you know what is the solenoid. So solenoid, in solenoid there is a cylindrical tube of some non-magnetic material. You can take a cardboard and fold that cardboard in the form of a cylinder. Here its length is more and the diameter of the tube is very small. Now over this there is the windings of the insulated copper wire. Here these are the windings over the insulated copper wire. When current passes through this coil, so it behaves like a cylindrical bar magnet. Its one end will become the south pole and the other end will become the north pole. Here this is a solenoid. There is a cylindrical tube of some non-magnetic material. You can take of plastic also, and over that there is the winding of the insulated copper wire. So each turn will be a circular coil. Here each turn will be a circular coil. When current passes through it, then its one end will become the north pole and the other end will become the south pole. Which end will be north pole and which end will be south pole, that you know according to the direction of current in that phase we can determine the polarity. If the direction of current is anti-clockwise, then there will be the north polarity. If you are observing from this side and the direction of current appears anti-clockwise, then there will be north polarity. Similarly, if the direction of current appears on the face of the coil clockwise, then there will be south polarity. So, if the direction of current appears anti-clockwise, then there will be north polarity. If it is anti-clockwise, then north polarity, clockwise, then there will be the south polarity. Now, what will be the magnetic field due to a long solenoid? So due to a long solenoid, inside the solenoid magnetic field will be uniform and parallel to the axis of solenoid. This red color line is showing the axis. What will be the pattern of magnetic lines of force? What will be the nature of magnetic field inside the solenoid? So if it is closely wounded means the turns are very close to each other, as well as it is long solenoid, then there will be almost uniform magnetic field parallel to the axis of solenoid. Means if we draw the magnetic lines of force here, then magnetic lines of force here, it will be like this. It's clear? It will be like this. This will be the pattern of magnetic field inside the solenoid parallel to the axis. If we take this as north pole, this as south pole, then these lines are running in this direction. It's clear? Means here lines of force are coming out from the north pole, and after traveling here they enter into south pole. So because of a closely wounded long solenoid, there will be almost uniform magnetic field inside the solenoid in the direction of its axis, means parallel to the axis. While just outside means here, just on the surface of the solenoid, just outside the over the surface of solenoid, magnetic field will be zero. It will not be zero here, but here it will be zero, just outside. When I say just outside, it means the point is situated just over the surface. So what is the pattern of magnetic field due to a long solenoid? Pattern of magnetic field due to a long closely wounded solenoid. Long closely wounded solenoid. It means long closely wounded solenoid means the turns are very close. So first thing, there will be a uniform magnetic field parallel to the axis of solenoid, parallel to axis of solenoid, while just outside, number 2, just outside, it will be 0. Just outside it will be 0. It is clear. Now see here, if suppose this is not a long solenoid, suppose this is a finite length, then in that case what will happen? Magnetic field in the central portion of solenoid will be uniform and parallel to the axis. If the solenoid is of finite length, then in the central portion of the solenoid it will be uniform and parallel to the axis, while at the ends it will be smaller than which it has in the central portion. Now see here, what will be the magnitude of this magnetic field? How will you find? So that can be found by using the Ampere circuital law. By using Ampere circuital law, we can determine the magnetic field. So that I am going to determine magnetic field due to a closely wounded long solenoid at the and this we will find by using Ampere circuital theorem. So see here, magnetic field due to long solenoid, closely wounded, long solenoid, inside it. So about the pattern, already I have told that what will be the pattern of magnetic field inside the closely wounded long solenoid. So here I am making the diagram once again. Here this is a long solenoid, and now this time I will not show you the turns. It's clear. Here we have assumed that it is situated on the plane of paper. This solenoid is situated on the plane of paper in such a way that half portion is above to this paper and half portion is below to the paper. Means it is not placed perpendicular. It is placed in this way, but half part is below to the plane of paper and half part is above to the plane of paper. And then there are the windings here. Suppose the current flows in this way. The way in which I am rotating the finger, current is flowing in this way. Then what will happen? At this edge, current is coming perpendicular to the plane of paper, upward direction. So here that direction of current I have shown by this symbol. This symbol means perpendicular to the plane of paper, upward. It's clear. Now while here what will be the magnetic field? Current comes, this turning is like this, current comes like this, and then it goes in this way. So here it is going perpendicular to the plane of paper, downward. In this side it is going perpendicular to plane of paper, downward. Now this I made here. In place of showing the turning and direction of current, I am showing the direction of current at both the edges in this side as well as in this side, this way. If in one side it is perpendicular to the plane of paper, upward, then in the other side it will be perpendicular to the plane of paper, downward. It's clear. This coil is situated on the plane of paper. Here we have assumed that let number of turns per unit length, number of turns per unit length Rn, and current which is flowing, that is I. Current which is flowing, that is I. Means in each turn there will be what current? I current is flowing. It is clear. Already we know that in this is the axis of the solenoid. Already we know that inside the solenoid there will be a uniform magnetic field, and we have to determine its magnitude. So see here, in order to determine the magnetic field inside the solenoid, we have taken a rectangular Amperian loop. Here this is a rectangular Amperian loop. You can see here. Rectangular Amperian loop such that its length is parallel to the axis. It's clear. And here it's this much part is inside the solenoid, rest part is outside the solenoid. And these turns, suppose means the Amperian loop is this. So turns are penetrating to the surface of the Amperian loop. Turns are penetrating to the Amperian loop is this. Turns are penetrating to the surface of Amperian loop, means entering from this side, coming out from this side, entering from this side, coming out from the upper side. So if we take its length equals to L, if we take that its length is equal to L, and number of turns per unit length is N. So how many turns will penetrate to its surface? How many turns will penetrate to its surface? That will be N into L, because in unit length there are N turns, its length of the Amperian loop is small l. So how many turns? Number of turns penetrating to Amperian loop that will be equal to, you can see here, N into L. That will be equal to N into L. Now each turn is carrying how much current? I. So what is the total net current threading to the surface of the Amperian loop? So what will be the total net current which is threading to the area enclosed by the loop? So I net will be equal to, each turn is carrying I current. There are total how many turns? N into L. So N into L into I. This will be the value of I net. Now see here. Here at the, since the Amperian loop is this I have named as PQRS. If you see here, what will be the direction of magnetic field along PQ? I have taken that the magnetic lines of force are running in this direction, means entering from this side, coming out from this side. This is the north polarity and this is the south polarity. So over PQ, what will be the direction of magnetic field? It will be this. It will be this. What will be the vector dl? So vector dl will be along the length of the Amperian loop. It will be here this. It will be vector dl, means over PQ, vector B and vector dl both are in the same direction. But if you see here over QR, here vector B will be this, because everywhere inside the solenoid there is a uniform magnetic field in this direction. Whether you take point here or anywhere, the direction of magnetic field is in this direction. What will be vector dl? It will be this. Vector dl will be this. Means over this part of QR, vector B and vector dl will be perpendicular. What will be here? Here there is no question of vector B dot vector dl, because B is 0. Just outside it is 0. It's clear. Therefore there is no need of evaluating vector B dot vector dl over this part. While over this part you can see what is the direction of magnetic field. Magnetic field is this and vector dl is this. It's clear. Here also it is perpendicular. So now you can see from Ampere's circuital theorem. From Ampere's circuital theorem, circuital law. Line integral of magnetic field over the imperial loop is equal to mu naught times of the net current threading to the area enclosed by that loop. So you can see here vector B dot vector dl equals to mu naught into I net. Now we can, since the orientation of vector B and vector dl over the different portions of the imperial loop is different. Here over PQ it is both are in the same direction. Over QR either vector B perpendicular to vector dl or B is 0. Over RS B is 0. Over SP also vector B is either perpendicular to vector dl or over this part it is 0. So we will split it. So I will write here vector B dot vector dl over PQ plus vector B dot vector dl over QR plus vector B dot vector dl over RS plus vector B dot vector dl over SP equals to mu naught into I net. Now you can see here over QR, RS and SP this will become 0. Why it will become 0? I am saying. And one more thing which is very important, here I have not put the circle because this PQ, QR, RS or SP alone is not a closed loop. When all the four are combined, then they are forming a closed loop. It is clear. That's why this circle has not been put. So vector B dot vector dl over QR will be equal to vector B dot vector dl will equals to RS equals to vector B dot vector dl over SP. All these will be 0. Why they will be 0? Because either vector B is perpendicular to vector dl. Here you can see over QR, over this part of QR, Q is this and R is this. Over this part of QR, vector B and vector dl are perpendicular. And when they are perpendicular, so what will be? For perpendicular, it will be B dl cos 90. And what is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0, therefore it will become 0. So this will become 0. This will also become 0, or it will be 0 because B is 0. It is clear. Means this line integral of magnetic field over QR, RS and SP will not contribute anything. Only contribution we will get from here. It is clear. So when these will become 0, so you can see here vector B dot vector dl over PQ is equal to mu naught into I net. Now I am solving it further. You can see here. Here if you see, you can find here. You can see here. It is vector B dot vector dl. What is the orientation over PQ? So over PQ you can see that both are in the same direction shown by the green pen. This is P, this is Q. It's clear. So what will be vector B dot vector dl over PQ? So you can see vector B dot vector dl, it is B dl cos 0 degree. It is clear over PQ equals to mu naught into I net. So it is equal to B dl over PQ. Cos 0 is 1 equals to mu naught. What is I net? Already I have evaluated that what will be I net. I net will be equal to the net current threading to the area enclosed by imperial loop. This you have seen here. what is the net current threading to the area enclosed by Amperian loop. So first you find there are how many turns which are penetrating to this area. So its length is L, and from unit length there are n turns. So total number of turns which are penetrating to this L length, n into L. Each turn is carrying current I, so it will be n into L into I. It's clear? So you can see here. So I net will be equal to n into L into I. Now since B is same at every point, whether you take here or here or here, it is same, therefore B we can take out common. Integral dl over pq equals to mu naught n L I. What will be integral dl over pq? It will be equal to length of pq. Why it is length of pq? You can see here. Integral dl over pq means the length of the infinitesimally small parts taken over the pq. Sum of the lengths of infinitesimally small parts taken over pq. So when you will add the length of all such parts over pq, it will become equal to length of pq. So it is equal to L. So what will be B into L? It will be equal to mu naught n L I. So L and L cancel. So B equals to what? Mu naught n into I. This is the formula of magnetic field due to an long closely wounded solenoid. It is clear. If it is of finite length, already I have told that if the solenoid is of finite length, it is not of infinite length, it is having some finite length, then well within the solenoid in the central portion it will be mu naught Ni. It's clear. While here or here it will become what? 1 upon 2 of which is at the center. Means if at the center it is mu naught into Ni, here at the poles it will be 1 upon 2 mu naught Ni. It's clear. This is in case of a finite length solenoid. Perhaps this you have understood. Now see here. What is n here? N is the number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length. This you remember. So in this lecture we will do only up to here. Now you can, now toroidal solenoid is left, that we will do in the other lecture. Now these pages I will upload in the description box. From there you can download. Thank you.